Fashion brand founders, in this quick video, I cover why wholesale presence isn't needed to succeed with ads and D2C. Now, sometimes fashion brand founders ask if having a strong wholesale presence and its brand recognition plays a big role in getting you customers with ads and scaling D2C. Like, is it an inhibitor for the brands if they aren't in places like Revolve or Saks, etc., or Meyer, David Jones, etc., for Australian founders watching, or Boohoo and Farfetch for the UK founders watching, etc., etc. I can go on. I say it's not needed to succeed with ads, clearly from the title of this video, right? And it's not an inhibitor at all. And I'll quickly explain exactly why that is based on our experience from scaling 15 plus fashion brands with ads and what we see in the fashion market. I'm Brandon, one of the co-founders of the G2C. We specialize in scaling fashion brands for over 4 years. Here are some of the brands we scaled. Now, why isn't wholesale presence needed? Well, point number one is that there are two different customers, and I'll draw it out here because I like to, for you more visual people. The customers that buy from wholesalers, so imagine this, right? The customers that buy from wholesalers, we'll call this wholesalers, are different from customers that will buy directly from your brand. So I'll say D2C, right? A handful of fashion brands, of the fashion brands we work with, also do wholesale. And the funny thing is, the best sellers on their website are selling like hotcakes, and we're scaling the ads with bestseller creators. So imagine we're selling a dress, right? Or this blouse or whatever. Okay, imagine this is like a piece of clothing right here. This is selling like hotcakes, direct to consumer. But they aren't selling like hotcakes for the wholesalers. So it's not selling like hotcakes. And they have to run clearance sales just to get rid of it. Like, I don't know, minus 70% off, some clearance sale, right? And also, we've tested many times running winning ads using the wholesalers as an audience on Meta that the brand is stocked in, and the ROAS is insanely bad. So, example, if a brand is stocked in Revolve, right? We target the winning ads. The winning ads. Here's the ad, right? Imagine there's an ad to the Revolve. Very terrible. And I'm sure if we spoke to the customers that came from an ad and bought directly from the brand, so these customers right here, they have no clue that the brand is even stocked in these other places. Absolutely no clue. Point number two, if you're successful with D2C, just double down on D2C. What we see scaling, or is it successful, like if you see D2C working, just stick with it. What we see from scaling fashion brands to 100K to 500K per month, to even 2 to 4 million plus per month, D2C are these trends. Almost all never did wholesale or even give a shit about expanding into wholesale. They have a strong brand on Instagram. They have products that people demand, and they like making more profit by doubling down on what works. Why expand into wholesale where they make less profit just for brand recognition, quote unquote? You can get that with ads. Why bother with wholesale when we could just double, triple their ad spend to get more new customers, or just expand to new ad platforms, or increase website conversion rate to convert more sales from the same traffic, or beef up email marketing to increase LTV and monetize existing customers better? One of the most successful fashion brands online, Manière de Voir, does absolutely no wholesale whatsoever since their inception, and they've been around for over 10 years. I think the brand's worth at least probably over 50 million, I think. It's all D2C. So from personal experience and what we see in the fashion market, this is why we say wholesale presence isn't needed to succeed with ads. There's no direct one-to-one correlation with them. Now, if you already have, it may sound like wholesale is all doom and gloom, all right? But if you're already doing wholesale and it's working for you, by all means, continue doing it. I'm just saying it's not needed to succeed with ads. Here's our other thoughts on wholesale. I think relying too much on wholesale is dangerous for fashion brands nowadays. Here's why. Well, we saw with COVID. Once things take a downturn, wholesalers will start cutting off orders from brands. And if your brand relies on these orders, then you are now left with nothing because you've never actually owned any assets by working with wholesalers. You're basically an employee to them. So this is the wholesaler, right? Imagine this is your brand right here. They order directly from you. All right, and then they sell it to, let's say this is the market, right? They sell to the market, okay, like this. Because you basically don't own anything because they're just ordering from you. They're building their own assets. They own the website. They own the email list. They own the content, et cetera, et cetera. And they're just basically buying from you and you're selling to them, and you're just making some profit, right? But you're basically an employee. So once they cut this out, like they have nothing left. You don't really own anything because you don't own the customer list. You're just selling to the wholesalers, right? They own the customer list. They have the assets. Whereas with D2C, you own the assets that you can monetize whenever you need, in any market condition. Assets like your email list, right? Your email subscribers, your customer list, your Instagram. That's an asset, right? Your et cetera, et cetera. And I think many brands who are heavily into wholesale have realized this since 2020 to 2021. And we personally saw a huge spike in them approaching us to help them scale their D2C side with ads to match or even outperform their wholesale side. They still come to this day and they still mention like, oh, we want the D2C to match or even outperform the wholesale side because maybe they're overextended to it, or they've experienced this, what I'm sharing right here, this pain in their business, and they realize they need to build assets for themselves instead of building other people's assets, which is the wholesalers. So that wraps up this quick video. If you like more actionable fashion ad content to help scale your fashion brand online, just check out the rest of our videos wherever you are watching this. If you're interested in working with us, you can just book a call in the link in bio on Instagram or the Calendly link in the video description on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next one.